Now, when we go back to GP, we're going to talk about journal entries. So journal entries are some stuff that we do at the end of each month. We do our payroll journal entries. We do our insurance journal entries. We do a whole bunch of different journal entries. And in GP, it's a fairly straightforward process. Again, it is on both of them. In this transaction entry, in this transaction entry, we have the ability inside here to do a journal entry. So as I pop through here, I'm going to put it in a test batch just so that we can take a look at it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up this one here. There it is there. So this is a journal entry, $210, $200, 10%, $10 GST, and $210 total. It's coming out of petty cash, going to sales. So it's a reference for a journal entry. We key in a reference inside here, and it could be, petty cash sale or whatever it happens to be. And if we need additional descriptions, we do have the ability to put an additional description inside here, as well as these two new fields that showed up in 18.6 or 18.5. So those particular ones are there. So then we can put in some information against this, and that will be what we have inside this journal entry. We can post it if it's not in a batch, or we can save it if it is in a batch. I'm just going to quickly save this, and I'm going to pop over to here, and I'm going to go to Finance and General Journals. And I've created a batch header inside here called Test, exactly the same way. We hit the Test. And when we open up Test, anything that's in Test is going to show up on the screen. And so there we are here. So as you see here, there's my 200, there's my 10, there's my 210. I have exactly the same journal entry entered. And I've entered an account number, a department code, and a division code. These codes are dimensions. They don't have to be here, but I wanted to match it up. So this is how I would then enter this. This document number here allows me to pop this all the way across. There are additional pieces of information as we move across here. When we go past there, we have an amount. We can not use debits and credits. We could get rid of these two columns and not only use positives and negatives. Negatives for credits, positives for debits, and then we would just enter the one amount. The difference between these two here is functional versus originating in terms that people understand inside Great Plains. The dollar value that you see here is the dollar value of the local currency. So if this was a US based transaction, these are Canadian. We're in a Canadian company. If we were to do that, this would then show 160, I guess it would be, 142 or whatever it is today. So that would be 142 US, and this would be whatever the math is on that. And then we would have each of these this would be balanced, and this would be balanced. We'd be able to post it. We'd have a currency code in here, so we can then select our currencies. You'll notice I only have 3 currencies: Euro, Mexican, and US dollars. Those are the only 3 I've got set up for this company. The Canadian is not set up. It does not need to be set up, as the local currency is used as a blank. Okay, we don't have to set the currency for the local currency. We have different things over here. We have this called a balance account, and I wanted to quickly mention this one that if I go like this and I go to a document, I create a new document just by clicking on that. You'll notice that it's got a new document number. I've got a GL code. So I'm going to go into here. When I want to look up a GL code, instead of having to go like this and clicking on here and then scrolling down through the numbers, I can type what I know about this. So I can go travel. So I can just go TRAV, and it'll find everything that starts with travel. So I'm going to pick 6520. And then inside here, I can then select my department and my division. So I'm going to put this to the north. And I can put a division if I wish, or I can leave this blank. I'm going to put it to admin. So admin travel. I'm going to click on the description inside here and go Don's travel account. Like so. I'm going to come across to here, and I'm going to put in a debit amount because I want to debit this account. I'm going to debit this for, say, $500 because I'm taking a flight. Perfect. There we are. Now, if this was just to be paid with petty cash, I could actually go right over here to a balance account and type in here, I can put in petty cash. There's petty cash, like so, done. Now, because this is 500 here, and because I put a balance account, this line is now balanced. So when I go to the post print here, there's a preview posting. I'm going to preview the posting here. Yep. Yeah, I know it's after the working date. That's fine. There we are. There's a GL entry. There are 5 entries there. And the 3 entries that you saw that I keyed individually, and you'll notice that this has now been broken into the 2 entries. Single line, 2 entries. So when you've got a debit and a credit that's equal, you can put it on a single line. If you need multiple lines, you can put them on multiple lines, as you can see here. That's been done from here. So, and then there are my dimensions being shown here, so I can see what's going on. And if I scroll across here, I can see things such as source currency, and if there was a source amount, it would be here. So any of your pieces inside here. Again, the no balance account inside. These 2 are the balance accounts because they're the offsets of each other, and that's what we would have. And then we could post this if we wanted to. So then we can. I'm not going to bother posting, but the idea is you just hit the post button and away it goes. And you can post as many transactions as you want inside this batch. By clicking here and show more options, you can hit select more. It gives you a list here, and if I want to post everything on the screen, I just click that button and then I hit the post button. If I only wanted to post the bottom one, I can just highlight the bottom one like this and go post. And then it would only post the one. So that's kind of how it works. Everything inside this, the test batch is really just a repository for where it is so that you can keep them separate between multiple users. So it could be called, it could be a date with a name after it, like we do in GP a lot of times, or it can be whatever you wish it to be. So from there.